here. I'm glad that all the previous speakers were wearing some jackets. I wish I was too. Um, Hello, everyone. I am Geetika. So, like the nicely done introduction, we at Krushal, we are trying to revolutionize the dairy farming, right, in India. And since this whole industry is highly, it's at scale, right? Look at the anything that we do at India level, it's such large scale. So we believe that technology and now AI is the only right way to do that. So how this talk will go, I will first explain what are the strengths of Indian dairy ecosystem and what are our weaknesses. Then the next step will be that, to address those weaknesses, what have we done, the overall interventions, and then specifically in that, what are the interventions which use AI. Yeah, so it's a very simple three-step we will do. Okay, so first let's understand what is dairy, right? So dairy is see for us, what we do, we drink milk and we use a whole lot of value-added products like ghee, paneer, butter, and there is this SMP. I don't know how many of you know what is SMP, the skimmed milk powder. Right, so traditionally we hear about skimmed milk powder and we think, no, that's not good. That's some alternative. That's probably something bad, but actually not true. It is nothing but dehydrated milk. So it is in fact higher in protein than the regular milk we drink because, percentage-wise. So if you are using SMP in any of your sweet making, don't feel bad about it. It's totally fine to do it. Okay, so the idea is that, see, we are consumers, right? So we are actually using all these dairy products. We buy it from a dairy. Dairy gets their raw products, which is milk, from some agents or directly from dairy farmers. And how do dairy farmers do? Dairy farmers actually rear the cows and, just pour the milk to the dairy. It's as simple as that. However, and what are our strengths, right? We are actually the largest producers of milk across the world, right? And it also provides jobs, employability, not jobs really, but dairy industry provides employment to like millions of people. Like there are millions of farmers who actually rear cows. So in that sense, if you see, it's a very good industry. And within the agriculture or within the rural space, it is a regulated or organized industry, right? So that way all good. But when it comes to, the next steps, the cost is high, whereas the quality that comes out is not as good. When it comes to world standards, the quality of our milk is slightly lower. And what do we mean by quality? Right, so in milk, there are 2-3 aspects. One, there is the solid part of the milk, right? So that is the fat, that is the protein part of it. So it is called as solid non-fats. So that defines the quality of milk. And plus the actual, see, this is the inherent quality of milk when it is taken from the cow. And the additional environmental quality is when, let's say, the milk is infested with some hormones, some with antibiotics, and so on, right? So in both aspects, we have a lot more to do. Okay, so in the whole dairy value chain, the main issues that are faced, that are at the things that are mentioned in red and orange, that the farmer development, so imagine that the quality of milk that is inherent to milk, that can improve only when my farmer is sufficiently developed. So that is an area that is the most red in the whole world. We need to work, amongst so many other things that happen across the dairy ecosystem, this is the thing that needs focus. And the good thing, when we buy milk, right? So let's say I am buying milk at 100 rupees a liter. I know we buy at 50, but actually the farmer will get 70 rupees. So in other situations, the farmers get probably much lesser. When it comes to milk, farmer does realize good amount of value from what the end consumer pays. But development-wise, the farmer is least developed. So imagine if farmer was developed, then where would our quality go, right? So even if, I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right? And another thing to notice is that milk being, the moment it comes out of the cow, that is the best quality of that particular milk. After that, you cannot add anything to enhance the quality. At best, you can maintain it by putting it in the right temperatures and so on. There are multiple ways to maintain the quality, but you cannot improve the quality of the milk more than what it is at the time of removing. Which means that unless your cow is healthy, the milk that is coming out of the cow will not be good enough. So, it's once we understand this, it's a no-brainer that cow's health is of paramount importance, and that's what we need to focus on, right? So now, to do that, what are the challenges at the farm level, right? One is that our farmers, they are not even aware. We all know that we need to eat healthy, right? But how many of us actually know that, this much percentage of proteins, this much percentage of that, when for humans itself, we don't have a very quantitative assessment. For cattle, very, very unlikely that the farmers will know, right? And plus, but the thing is that, see, for us, we know that, okay, you should eat nuts. We may buy nuts and eat, because even if it is expensive. But for the cattle, they won't do that, right? For cattle, it's a very easy thing to say that, oh, cows eat everything. So whatever is there, like, all sorts of, whatever is left over, that they eat, right? So we need to, that is something that, again, important to focus on. And why it is even more important is that just like for humans we say, right, we are what we eat, it's the same, that cows' productivity of milk in terms of quantity and quality both, 60 to 70% of that actually comes from what she eats. So it's very similar to humans. For each animal, whatever they eat, that's what they'll produce. Okay? So since farmers don't know, that's a very big challenge. Next, in the industry, this is another very big challenge, is that we keep complaining that farmers have financial illiteracy, right? The main reason for that is that farmers' income is so unpredictable, right? They don't know. See, one is from agri also. While they would have, done all their harvest and everything, but I mean, these days there is irrigation and everything, but there is a huge risk. They invest, and then the rewards come 3-4 months later. In dairy also, they are constantly working with the cow, right? They are always tending to the cow, they are feeding it, but they don't know how much milk is expected from the cow today, tomorrow, next month, next 12 months. They don't know how much milk the cow is going to give. So when they don't know, they are hesitant to invest, right? So that unpredictability is a big issue for the farmer itself, right? So these are two very important issues at the farmer level. And then, actually when the cow falls ill, you still need a doctor, right? The vet, the animal doctor. And there is severe shortage. And just like she was explaining, right? Previous to me, she was explaining that there is shortage of human doctors itself. Now imagine there's further shortage of vets. And these days, though, a lot of vets are moving to pet care because pet industry is seeing a bit of a rise. So most vets want to shift to that industry. So that's even more problematic for for our farmers in the villages, especially. Yeah. So, so now we know that these are the key challenges that are being faced. So how do we handle these challenges? So see, what we provide to the farmers is the complete care at their doorstep. So which means that we have vets and we have the likes of the compounders, the paravets on our rolls. These are actually field staff who goes to the farm at their doorstep and look at every single cow of that farmer and give them the complete preventive care, reproductive care. Reproductive care also I will come to, maybe if time permits. Then curative is of course the critical care in case the cow actually falls ill. And nutrition. Nutrition, like I told, is extremely critical for the cow to be healthy. And over and above that, we also give them complete guidance on how to manage their entire farm, right? Not just the animal. It's like, how do you keep your farm clean? How do you keep it ventilated? What is it that all the cows will need? So we do all of that, and to actually do it effectively, we use, a whole lot of tech, which we have built in-house. And a lot of now tech is now, so we are converting a lot of it to AI-driven things so that it's most effective and it is scalable. So for us, it's very important that these things are done at scale, because we have to actually reach like too many villages in India. Yeah, so we have all our field staff carry an app where each of their tasks are managed through the field operations. Then we have centralized service. These guys can actually call our central help at any time. And our central guys are like really senior guys who anyways oversee the work that is happening on the field, and so on. Okay, so now out of these interventions, like I was telling you, right, our interventions are at like preventive care, reproductive, critical, farm, nutrition, all that. Out of these, which are the ones that are AI powered? Okay, so first and foremost is we call it smart ration. So smart ration is very simple. I mean, sounds simple, but it is actually a fairly complex optimization algorithm where we identify for every single cow based on what her weight is, what her age is, what is her status, in the sense, is she pregnant, is she milking, how many months, how many kids has she had, so on and so forth. We identify how much exact nutrients does she require, right? So in terms of how many kgs, how much weight she needs of the fodder, how much of protein. Now, in terms of if anybody has ventured into diet and nutrition kind of thing, so you will know that it's not just protein. It needs to be digestible crude protein, right? Unless it is digestible, it's no use. So similarly, the total digestive nutrients. So all that our algorithm will identify, and then very importantly, it will also check what all does the farmer already has, or what all are the things that grow nearby to the farmer, and try to match that, right? And then give a recommendation to the farmer for every different cow of his, a separate recommendation on what he should be feeding to the cow. And to make it very practical, we always keep it same. I mean, we can't say that, okay, to cow A you feed, jowar, to cow B you feed bajra. No, we'll say that, okay, to cow A it will be 1 kg of jowar, to cow B it might be 2 kgs of jowar, so on and so forth. So that kind of, so while we use AI, but we are very, very cognizant of the fact that it has to be practical for the farmer. Because otherwise, farmers are not going to take it at all. They'll say, you please go. Otherwise, you only come and give it and feed it to the cows every day, right? So this is on the smart ration side. Then next, I was also talking about so maybe I'll first show you one of the samples of this smart ration. Yeah. So see this. See, we are, a very important thing, we are saying, I forgot to tell, that this also takes care that it has to be least cost. So let's say if a farmer is producing something of high value, right? So then my algorithm will not propose that to be fed to the cow. They'll say that, look, you please sell this in the market. Instead, buy this cheaper version, which will give her the same nutrients, right? So cost and convenience, both are optimized. Yeah. So see this. See, this is for 2 cows, right? Topmost, you can see that it totally puts there that for which cow, which means the ear tag number. See, each cow, you guys might have heard that, right? Each cow has a ear tag through which they are identified, and that's a government thing. So each cow has to be registered like that. Its weight, there is something called as body score, forget that, how much milk she is giving. So we have shown that to the farmer that, just so that he identifies that, yes, this is the cow for which you are going to give. And exactly how many kgs of each of the fodder, right? rice straw, you see, and we also tell him how much it's going to cost him. So totally, he knows for every cow how much money he's going to spend on the ration. And then we also show him how much is his expenditure for the whole month. So this is also an input into the little bit of literacy, financial literacy towards the farmer, right? Because today when we talk to farmers, they on top of their head, they don't know what is the cost of the milk production they are actually incurring. So if we ask them, okay, how much money are you making? That they know because they have the milk slips, right? So if they are pouring 100 liters to the dairy, they know that, okay, 100 into 30, look, I am going to earn 3,000. But if you ask them, okay, how much money did you spend to earn this much? They'll say, I don't know. Right? So that is also, so once they see this, they also will know that, okay, this much money I'm actually spending just on the feed. And then some overheads here and there. So they understand that how much they are spending and what's the cost of production. Right? So let me come back. Next is the milk predictor. Right? So this is again towards that unpredictable cash flow we were talking about. Yeah. So see, this one, it's it's actually my favorite because we tried to search something like this and we couldn't find anything available on the internet. That it tells each farmer how much milk is his every cow going to give in the next 12 months. Right? And the moment he knows how much milk the cow is giving, he's able to, I mean, we only calculate it and show him that, okay, this is going to be your income from this cow. So when we do it at the whole farm level, he now knows that, okay, in the next 12 months, this is the money I expect to make. Over and above that, we also tell him that if you do these interventions, right, your expectation can grow up by, let's say, 15%, 20%, whatever be the case. But he knows that currently, if he doesn't do anything, this is the money he'll make. With the interventions, that's the money he stands to make. So I'll show you a sample of that also. And that is also a fairly scientific thing based on the cow's complete history, the cow's current status, and a lot of machine learning algorithms, right? And this is the one that I think previous two speakers spoke about in terms of human health. That is, we are calling it, it's for the diagnosis of diseases, especially because there is severe shortage of vets in the rural areas. So we call it Vet Assist, right? So this is the tool that helps the vets. So as soon as they enter the observations or any, so it could be a vet or it could be a paravet. He goes to the field, right? And he enters the observations about a cow, takes the pictures, and he saves it. Our tool gives the possible diseases that the cow may have. Now, again, like Ayushi said, right, that we don't want to tell that, yes, this is it, right? We do need a human trained doctor to actually sign off saying that, yes, indeed, this is it. Because for the diseases, it's not just about the disease. It's also the intensity of the disease that sometimes matters, right? For a very mild fever, you'll probably not take a Dolo 650. You may take a Dolo 500 maybe. So it's important. You don't want to unnecessarily take strong antibiotics, especially unless there is a need. Yeah. So I'll show you a little bit of sample of that also. So this is the, you see this? The milk volumes and income to manage. See this, the baseline, the blue line, what we are showing is, this is for one cow, right? So for that cow, oh no, this is for many cows, clearly. So see the blue line, if we don't make any interventions, that's the kind of, is it money or liters? No, that is the liters. So this we have actually done it at a whole milk pooling point level, where we collected the data for all the animals of that milk pooling point. And it is shown to that MPP owner that this is how your milk pouring will go if there are no interventions done. And if you see the actual, there is a green line that is shown in the actuals thing. It is fairly close to what we have predicted, right? And then there is a red line, okay, it's orange, which is, we have told them that, whatever we've been telling you to do, if you do that, at least that much improvement you should see. And we always tell them at least that much. Anything above that is a bonus. We don't want to claim too much because on the ground, a lot of times things are not in our control. Sometimes farmers will say they'll do something they won't do, right? And yeah, so this is the vet assist that I was telling, right? So see this. See, one very important thing about vet assist, like Ayushi was also telling, that for every animal, we actually have that longitudinal medical records, right? From the time the animal gets onboarded with us, every single disease is captured in the system, right? So if there is some previous ailment that resurfaces, it's very hard for a vet to know, right? But in the system, it automatically knows and it's able to throw up things related to that also. Any kind of combinations, it's able to throw up. And secondly, once a diagnosis is made, our system also throws up possible prescriptions for that diagnosis. It also tells who are the vets expert in that area, and would you like to consult with them? Right? So it's a combination of AI-driven approach and human intervention, which we believe is really going to help improving the cow's health. And if cow's health improves, again, milk quantity, milk quality, everything improves, all of us stand to gain. So let me just complete the flow of I think I'll just take 2 more minutes. See, when it comes to treating a cow with antibiotics, right? So there is a whole flow that should get completed. One is that we should actually do so much preventive activities that cows fall ill less. Even if the cows fall ill less, the severity of the diseases should be less. Check, check, we've done all of that. But the fact is that they are also living beings, right? So they will fall ill. Now, when the cow has fallen ill and an antibiotic has been given to the cow, what happens after that? That also, what we do, because now it's all in our app, we actually flag that to the milk pooling point guy and the dairy so that he can check with the farmer that, hey, please do not give me that milk. I don't want to mix this milk with all the other milk that is going to the humans. Right? So that is prevention at the root level that we do. Okay, so that is a chart. See, this chart can never be accurate because what happens is that, let's say I am a farmer, okay, and I have 10 cows. One of them has fallen ill. So I'll still pour 9 cows ka milk. Right now, what this chart shows me is it's a trend. See, what we want to showcase here is that it's a trend that farmers for whom the cows fell ill, how many such farmers were pouring to a milk pouring point, right? So that has seen a steady decrease, okay? And does it end there? Yes, this is every day. We also report which medicine has been given, how many days of withdrawal that medicine has for every single animal. This report is generated and shared with the farmer, with the MPP owner, and the dairy. Okay, so yeah, so with this, I think we have, these are the AI things. We have done, actually we have delivered, see the logos here, we've delivered so much of value to all these dairies. We are currently working in Maharashtra, we are working in Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and a little bit in Bihar and West Bengal. So that is a work we have started with ITC recently. And see, over the last 2.5 years, we've built very strong tech. So what happened is that the same tech we were able to give to an NGO to use for their goatry program also. So the same tech works for goatry, poultry, any of the things, anything that is done on the field and especially in remote areas, our tech is quite effective in that. So, I mean, I won't read all these statistics. So yeah, if any of you are interested, please, help join in the AI revolution. You can invest, or if you own a dairy, or if you know somebody who, owns a dairy, they can partner with us. And my colleague and co-founder Rochan is also here. In case you guys have any questions, please feel free. We'll be around here. Yes.